Okay, so I'm a bit late to the party, but it's finally arrived. It's the brand new 1/10 RC rally car from Rlaarlo. Hi there, Mark here again, and yes, I was supposed to get this rally car for the release, but there was a bit of a problem with communications, but it's finally got here now, so I'm going to give you my view on it. I know it's been all over YouTube recently, but there are 3 versions of this rally car available. Most channels have been reviewing this version, which is the carbon version, and that has a 3650 brushless motor and a 60 amp ESC, and retails at $299. Now the version I've got is this metal version, which has the 2852 smaller brushless motor and a 45 amp ESC. And the only other difference I think between the two is that the version I've got has also got lower gearing to cope with that higher revving but smaller motor. The metal version I've got is $249 RRP, and the other version is a roller, which is I think the same spec as the carbon one, but obviously without any electronics, and it also comes with a clear body shell so you can paint it up in the livery of your choice. So here it is, and look at that, what a beauty. I've got to say they've done a superb job with the styling on this. As you can see, I think you'll agree that the body styling was very much, shall we say, inspired by the Ken Block Ford Fiesta Gymkhana rally car. Obviously it's not licensed, so it's not an exact copy, but going in the flavour, as you can see, I've added my own Monster Energy decals to it just to give it that bit more of a Ken Block feel to it, to go with the number 43. It was just from a cheap set of Monster Energy decals that I got off eBay. But the car does come with a couple of cool decal sheets that you can use if you want. So as I said, this is a 1/10 scale rally car. It comes with a 257mm wheelbase, which is standard touring car. But as you can see, it's quite a lot wider than a standard touring car. This is getting on for about 220mm width or track. But the width or track of a standard touring car is 190mm. I'll just show you one of my Tamias. This is an XV01 with a Lancia Delta shell on it. And as you can see, this is quite a lot narrower. But Rlaarlo do offer a narrowing kit for this chassis to take it down to that 190mm, and it'll give you a massive selection of off-the-shelf body shells that you could fit on it. And I've got to say, Tamiya in particular do make some fantastic replica rally car body shells. And I'm not going to do it in this video, but later on, hopefully early next year, I'm going to do a series of videos where I'm pitting some of my Tamiyas, like this XV01, against the new Rlaarlo in a head-to-head or a series of head-to-head races. So keep your eye open for those. One thing I will say though is those Tamiyas are going to have the work cut out, because the specification of this thing is quite incredible. And number one, just look at that suspension. It is so supple, the ground clearance is fantastic. This thing should be absolutely incredible off-road. The only thing that I think it might struggle with though are the tyres, and if you can see there, we'll have a closer look in a minute, but they are very much on-road tyres, so I might look at seeing if I can get some proper rally tyres for this, but that'll be at a later date as well. So before we get the body off and have a look underneath, a quick look at the body itself. I was going to say, it's a really well detailed body. The superb thing about it, I think, is the light buckets. So you've got light buckets at the front. The body itself is cut out, and these are separate plastic inserted light units, and I think there are 2 sets of lights in the front there. You've got the same at the back. These are actually separate pods that fit in, and the rear ones have the tail lights, brake lights, reversing lights, and indicator, would you believe? I think it has got indicators in the front. We'll have a look at that in a bit. It's also got a lot of detailed plastic parts that are attached to it. So you've got these kind of skid plates on the top of the wings here. You've got the separate grille at the front, and these double up as attachments for the lights, so that's nice and firm. You've got the scoop on the top there, which I think also adds a kind of protection if it rolls over. You've got the separate plastic wing on the back, and we've also got wing mirrors and separate door handles. But one thing I really do like about this body is there are no body posts you can see sticking up and no R-pins, because it's a clip system from underneath. As you can see, we've got these brackets at the side which hold the side of the bodywork, which is cool because it stops it from flapping around when you're running. But also, there's a tiny clip on each side. You just have to push it and turn it round, and these unclip from those brackets. You put your finger up into the bumper, give it a click, and the whole thing swivels upwards and open. There's a hinge at the back which you can take off, so you can completely remove it. But yeah, that's a really nice body mounting system. And just looking here at the attention to detail, you can see we've got the control board for the lights here, all the wiring's all neatly clipped in and routed so it's out the way of the wheels. You can see the light buckets at the front there, and you might be able to see the ones at the rear. So now we've got it opened up, let's get it on the bench, have a quick look at the specifications and features, and then we'll get it out for a test run. Okay, but before we get to the chassis, I thought we'd better have a quick look at the remote and some of the features. And I really do like this remote. It's 5-channel. We've got 4 batteries in the bottom there. Feels really nice in the hand. And we've got this panel underneath the lid where you've got all the setup options. And I love the fact that they're all analog, nice and easy for an old guy like me to use. It's just a simple turn of a knob. So you've got steering trim there, the throttle trim. You've got the steering dual rate, so you can adjust how much the wheels actually turn. Then you've got the throttle rate adjustment, so you can turn that down to 0. You've got 25, 50, 75 and 100% throttle. Channel 3 and 4 for the lights. Channel 5 is to adjust a really important feature of this car, which is a gyro. Okay, so we'll just get this turned on. I'm going to have to power the car up, so there's going to be a bit of noise from this fan. So there's your power switch. Told you it was noisy. I'll just turn it upside down and see if I move the car, you can see the gyro in operation. It's fully adjustable and that should keep us in a straight line or help with drifting. One click of channel 4, we get the headlights come on. 2 clicks, we got main beam as well. You might not be able to see under these lights, but the rear lights are on. And if we accelerate and then brake, we've got brake lights, we've got reverse lights, and then if you look at the tailpipe here, when you let go of the throttle, you get like flames firing out the exhaust. I love that feature. Okay, I'll just get it turned off and we'll take the body off. Okay, so you just need to unplug that connector and you've got these 2 screws and the body's off. Nice and simple. Now we can take a proper look at it, and I've got to say this thing just oozes quality. I mean, just look at it, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? We've got this gorgeous laser etched chassis plate and full hex hardware throughout the whole car. We've got these enormous lower arms or wishbones. Looks like they're the same arms front and rear, which is always a good thing. And the same with the top arms, so you can reverse these or swap them front and rear. And something I always like to see, we've got stainless steel hinge pins for the arms themselves, and really beefy, they look like 4mm alloy mounts for those pins, so those should be nice and strong. And you can also see we've got these little tabs here either side, front and rear. You might just be able to see in there, we've got droop screws, so we can adjust the ride height by turning those screws up and down. We've got these beautiful big bore aluminium shocks all round, which attach to these beautiful shock mounts, 4mm thick aluminium etched alloy. We've got a nice big impact absorbing bumper on the front there. You can see there's a bit of a kind of spring to take any impact. Metal drive shafts all round, we've got CVDs at the front and dog bones in the rear. The whole drivetrain itself is fully metal, you can hear those gears. We've got oil-filled diffs in the front, oil-filled diff in the back, and something that's really going to help the performance, and something you don't very often see on a car of this price range. As you can see, I can turn these wheels and the rear wheels aren't turning because there is a central oil-filled differential. So that's right, we've got a centre diff as well. Difficult to see, but you might be able to make out there's a sway bar there at the front and there's a sway bar in the rear. We've got turnbuckle adjusters on the steering tie rods and a nice big chunky top brace running from front to rear. This is alloy. I think the carbon one, this is carbon fibre on the carbon version. And down in there we've got an 11 kg metal geared steering servo. We've got a 3800 kV brushless motor complete with fan, and that's attached with a metal motor mount which also gives you a metal adjuster for different pinion sizes. And you can see in the bag there it does come with a high speed pinion. Got the receiver in this waterproof box. There's your 45 amp ESC complete with another fan, which is why it's so noisy, and here's the battery tray. The battery that comes with it, it's 2200 mAh 3S LiPo complete with XT60 connector. And for Rlaarlo I've thought of everything with this chassis, because if you want to run bigger batteries than this, you've got the option to reposition that ESC by removing it from there. You can put it on this top plate here and you get the brackets so that you can make that battery tray that much longer, and you even get the double-sided tape to use to reposition that ESC. And it's good to know that all the spare parts for this chassis, including a load of optional hop-up parts, are available from the Rlaarlo.com website. So there you go, 4-wheel drive brushless, sensitive, gyro. Let's go and drive it. Okay, so I've come down to the skate park, and don't worry, I'm not going to test this to destruction. I'm going to give it a nice gentle run, try and get used to the handling and so on. I've got my GoPro on the controller, I've got my wife with the camera.
Hello.
Let's get this show on the road. Right then, it's a bit wet. We should get some drifts going on, so yeah, here we go. Well, I think that's enough of that. Well then, I'm worn out after that. I think we could say it's waterproof, don't we, Lou?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've got to say I do love the handling of it. It's really, really slippery out here, as you can see. I think that was a good first outing. Now I'm going to try it on a bit of dirt. Okay, so we've come down to the car park. I'm on the camera. He's going to film the speed run for me, so we're going to do a speed test. So remember, this is the metal version with the smaller brushless motor.
Right.
The carbon one, the faster one, does about 40, Rob.
Right.
But we'll see what this one does, eh?
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Lovely and smooth.
It sounds it.
So you can see where I'm braking, some of the flames. You can see the gyro kicking in. I've only gone.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Oops.
She's a bit feisty, Rob.
Just a bit, mate. Mind you, it's a bit damp.
It's really good at that.
Yeah.
Shall we see how fast it was?
Yeah, why not?
There you go. So what's your guesstimate, dude?
20.
You reckon 20? Oh, no way. It's going to be faster than that. Stop. McReed, I reckon 30. Oh, hey! So there you go, guys. The metal version does 30 mile an hour. It's not that fast. That's on the standard pinion. It has got a speed pinion, but I'm not going to bother because I'm going to run it off-road most of the time. And I think 30 is a blooming good speed
Too right,
for
mate.
a rally car, 1/10 scale. So there you go. Now you know.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, it launches well, don't it, considering it's Look at it go. Well done, Rob. I tell you what, it hooks up alright on this ground, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, Rob, you're zooming on that turn, mate. Very good. Well then, hopefully you just saw, this is quite amazing, isn't it, Rob?
8.5, dude.
Both had a go with it
We
on
have.
this loose, wet, leafy, muddy, dirty
muddy, gravelly.
terrain, and considering they're like road tyres,
They are.
man, this thing still hooks up, doesn't it?
They are.
It goes
Yeah.
so much better than we both expected. Rob
Oh, yeah.
let it go.
And I'm crap at driving.
And it, yeah, the gyro does wonders really, doesn't
It
it?
does, yeah.
So just show them again, Rob. Look at this pickup, considering the surface we're on.
Yeah.
Here we go, ready? 3, 2, 1. Look at that thing. It's a missile. Unbelievable. So there you go. I don't think you really need the carbon version. If you just
No.
want fun on a bit of
Yeah.
off-road stuff like this thing is a blast. So basically, just to sum up, if you want to get yourself into off-road rally RCing, then I don't think there's a better place you can start than with this.
Oh, definitely
This
not.
car, this XTS, is fantastic. I've got to say, for the
Yeah.
money, you can't go wrong.
No.
Totally recommended.